Hey guys, welcome to the Made in Sims podcast. I just got finished having a conversation with Gill over at GMB Sportswear. It was really cool how much we had in common and how growing up in a family business created so much drive. I'm really excited for this conversation, so let's jump in.
Summer's here, and there's nothing more satisfying than spending some time by the pool or in the yard with family and friends. Let just-in-time pressure wash help keep your property looking its best. Whether you need your house soft washed instead of pressure washed, your driveway, sidewalk, or pool pad clean, or your roof washed and your gutters cleaned, Just-in-Time can handle it all from residential to commercial work. So don't spend another day looking at stained concrete or a dirty house. Give Just-in-Time Pressure Wash a call today at 251-554-7211 and make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Made in Sims podcast.
So, all right, Gill, man, I appreciate you being on the podcast with me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, hey, if you will, let's jump in. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Kind of born and raised right here in Sims.
Okay.
Went to Sims Elementary, middle school, MGM, all that good stuff. Kind of been in this area my whole life. Pretty much just here going to school, working, doing my thing. You know what I mean? So I run a family business here in Sims called GMB Sportswear.
Okay.
We have been here 23 years as a store right here off of Moffett Road.
All right.
And that's pretty much what, if you know me, that's what I do. I
do
that every day.
That's right. I've heard so many people say all kinds of good stuff about you. We tried you guys out. I believe that you did our softball jerseys like a long time ago for like our church event or something.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
we did.
And then actually got these hats made here.
Yep.
So that was really
cool. We were
cool.
able to help you with these hats. Something we kind of added to our line is doing leather and embroidery for hats and so forth. So
I got you.
Absolutely.
So how did GMB Sportswear, how was it started?
So kind of funny enough, it's something my grandfather started, I'm going to say 37, 40 years ago, somewhere in that range. He had the business at his home, building it through some different groups and schools and stuff that he did work for, some ballparks and things. Had it for about 10 years.
Okay.
And my dad purchased it as a side thing to do, after hours. I was 10 years old. It was just something we did on the side. Matter of fact, we raced cars at the time. And that was kind of our little money we had to put toward going to the racetrack on Friday and Saturday night.
That's right.
And 4 years after that went by, my older brother was at co-op age in school, and he wanted to, maybe try to open a shop here in Sims to see if, something he could come in at co-op and run until he could get off work, something we was already doing it after work anyway.
Right.
And he literally took 2 weeks vacation on that day that he opened in April 1st of 99. And he always says this, I had $1,700 in 2 weeks, and the shop just took off. Matter of fact, after the 2 weeks, he called back in for 2 more weeks, and he never went back to work. And funny thing is, my older brother, he did do it for a while, but he kind of slipped. And I was 14, sitting there waiting, I was ready, and so I started printing it after school at night and stuff, trying to buy my first car and things, just trying to make money. He always wanted us to earn our way, never really just give you
nothing
what you
was
want.
Given. That's
no,
right.
He
would have give you the shirt off his back, but he wanted to see you work for it.
That's right. I started printing shirts for 50 cents a shirt at 14. I don't know if there's any child labor laws in that, but I printed as many shirts as he'd let me print at night. Right. I can promise you. So, but it just kept growing. The thing is, through school, get out of school, full-time job, marriage, like to the point that he's retired now. He's been retired for like 4 years now.
That's your dad?
Mm-hmm, my dad.
That's awesome.
So, and I have 2 other employees that work with me. It's actually a nephew of mine, a good friend of mine. But, it's just something that turned into a career, more or less. You know, never expected not to know that. You know, always thought I'd probably go to college and become something else. But once I got into it, I love it because I love people, and I like to actually talk to everybody. And literally, I mean, if you come to my shop, you're going to talk to me. If you call, you're going to probably talk to me. If you email, you're going to talk to me. I love to be the communicator, as well as the one that probably stayed till 11 o'clock every night printing your T-shirts.
Man, me and you have a lot in common. I like you already.
For sure.
So as far as it goes, what does GMB stand for?
So originally, funny enough, my dad and his dad were going to start a business. And then his name is Bill, and my dad is Gill Sr., so it was going to be Gill and Bill. And that never foreseen to happen.
Okay.
So Dad had already named the business that as he was getting ready to open. And he was like, man, I ain't got nothing but 3 sons. We'll just call it Gill and Boys and leave it at that, which actually has turned out to be a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem is it's, other than a few years here or there, it's pretty much been me, not the brothers. So I like to joke about it. Now I call it Girl and Boy Sportswear because I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know about Gill and Boys, unless my son comes up and gets in this. So
That's awesome.
It's been really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned earlier that you were into racing. Y'all were like getting money on the side. Is that something that you're still into today?
I still have a deep passion for it, but as family came along, kids and things, we've raced just about everything you could race. From cars to go-karts to dirt bikes to racing lawnmowers that we traveled all over the South doing. We have literally done it all. But you just kind of start to realize that, hey, what if I got hurt? Like, I am the person that does the work and deals with the people. So, it was like, hey, let's get into something else. So we kind of transitioned more into the old car and hot rod community, something that was still
a little
fun,
bit safer,
but a lot, yeah. Not
me. I just had this conversation with someone yesterday, and it was like, it's amazing the way that your brain works whenever it comes to like danger and stuff like that.
Yep.
Before you're married or just after getting married, not having any kids, you can take over the whole world. Right. I told somebody the other day, I don't think anybody gets into BMX racing and does the cross country stuff after the age of 25. Right. After that, like the risk is definitely too high for the reward. So I grew up in a family business as well. So I know there's a lot of lessons that I've taken away from working with family, stuff like that. What are some of the lessons that you've learned with working with your dad and working with family?
Probably mostly responsibility. Whenever I was 17 or 18, my dad, we were racing dirt bikes.
Okay.
And literally I was home running the business, and he was with my brothers running over in Milton, actually. And he got in a very bad accident. Matter of fact, he was hospitalized for like a week. He was out of work for months. And it was just me and him. There was no other people. There really hasn't been other people until the last few years.
Yeah.
So, but it was just me and him. And so at a very young age, it just forced me to like grow up real quick and be responsible. So, the biggest thing that I would say is responsibility, learning how to, communicate with people, like just the whole level of business without actually even having, he didn't go to school for business.
Right.
And so I didn't have anybody that like necessarily taught me the way, but he's very good at being right. I just say it like that. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So he steered me in a direction that now has built me a livelihood, and others, that I would never have any other way. So I'd say mostly would be that. It is responsibility and communication and really just respect for everyone.
Right. Man, that's so awesome. I've told a story a couple of times before, but one of the things that it made me think of it earlier when you were talking about your growing up, not being given things. Yeah. There was something that was instilled in me at a really young age. So at 7, my grandpa had a push mower, and he had an extra. It wasn't self-propelled. It was just a push mower. Right. And I came over one day and I was like, hey, I wanted something. It was like $20. Yep. And I felt like I wanted it pretty bad. Well, after I got done cutting his yard for the day, he said, here's the deal. I can give you the money that you need for the thing that I wanted, whatever it was. It wasn't that important.
Yeah.
He said, or I can, for your service, I can let you have the lawnmower. It's your decision. And at 7, I made the decision that I want to get the thing. You know what I'm saying? But through that, that's right. And like growing up with the family, they would also give me the shirt off their back. Sure. When the business that I'm operating today, A1 McDuffie Sanitation, was supposed to be given to me, but there was something that was bred into me and like taught to me that, man, I don't want to be given anything. Right. Nothing in life's free. Everything comes with consequences. You got to pay for it. So one of the questions I have for you is, what's one of your favorite things about running a business in Sims?
I would say the overall community, just in general. Sims just brings a whole different vibe from a lot of places.
Right.
And it's funny because, we get to, give those type things to even people that aren't from here that come here.
That's right.
Just they all say, "Oh, we'll drive way out here," but when they get there, it's being worth the drive.
That's right.
And so I'd say just the overall, the way the community kind of puts in you, this personality or hospitality, I guess,
Right.
would be the biggest thing that I like, from the area
That's right.
that I like to use in my business.
Right. It's kind of one of those things where if they believe in you, they'll get behind you and they'll support you and they'll see you through.
They do. Yeah, it's funny, everybody always, hey, it's your business, you tell me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you in a lot more ways than that,
That's right.
So
That's right.
as far as steering, directional and things,
Yeah.
it's so funny. People will come in all the time and, they got it in their head that they want one thing, but probably when they left, they got something different, but it was because they didn't really know what they wanted.
That's right.
They just thought they did. Until
That's right.
They kind of had an opportunity to, talk to somebody that does and, so forth. But
Yeah, that's super smart.
Yeah.
I said before on one of the other podcasts that if I fell down on my luck anywhere, I want it to be in Sims, Alabama.
Absolutely.
Because if I needed parts for my vehicle, I know exactly where I can go to get them. If I need, I could have a meal up at Sims House of Pizza or up at the Hickory Pit. There would be a community of people that would come together.
It is.
And I've seen it happen when people have fallen down on their luck.
Oh, sure. I mean, even in partnerships, I have other companies and groups in this business that even do things like I do that man, we literally, we don't look at each other as any type of competition.
Right.
We literally look at each other and
I'm
go
the same way.
We're like, hey, you're a friend. Call me if you need business advice. Call me if you need something. Or let's just exchange some work and take loads off each other. Whatever it is.
That's right.
And it's just hard to believe that you can have that relationship. But I actually preach that to a lot of folks that I do business with.
Yeah.
Is don't be so consumed in yourself that you can't reach out to some of these other businesses and partner with them.
Yeah.
Because in this community, that's what we do.
That's right.
I feel like we do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. There was somebody that was pretty influential in the city that kind of done a couple people wrong. And I had a conversation with them and I told them Sims is one of those places where the word gets around quickly.
It does.
You got to be genuine.
Right.
And the thing is, you were taking a group with you to the top.
Sure.
And that's just like us in the garbage business. There's a bunch of other people that offer garbage business, garbage services. And now we want to be the best.
Absolutely.
But as far as it goes, man, there's a lot of other great options out there. And if I hear other people talking about them, I do the same thing. It's hey, maybe they're a better fit for you,
Yeah.
So
it does happen that way.
Is there any challenges that you've had to overcome in business that you'd like to share with us today?
I'd say a lot of it is just probably growth in general. We've never seen a down year until COVID, actually, because we're so school orientated. When they shut schools down, that definitely was a big thing. But up to that, we'd always grown.
Right.
And whether it was to a point where we were ever take that leap and buy better equipment or buy, more people to work with or whatever that is.
That's right.
That was probably the biggest obstacle.
Right.
We've always had we got real lucky, early on and got a building that we, was easily able to pay for and of course the start off stuff, but just having that growth, to be able to take a leap and hire more help and get better equipment. That's probably been the biggest challenge.
Right.
Just to work yourself to death.
Right.
Of course I'll do it and I have, but
right. I'm with
tough,
you. So the whole thing is I said about my grandparents starting the business. They were and it's just like your family. They were entrepreneurs and business owners before being a business owner was cool.
That's right.
And I see a lot of people, they want to jump in and they want to start a business and they want to do this stuff, especially younger people.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that frustrates me about it is the fact of I'm all for anybody bettering themselves and all that stuff. But the thing is, what they see is the results. They see the truck that you drive today. They didn't see the truck you drive when you started. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the pain that you've got to get to where you are.
Most of them don't want to put in the work before they get their benefit.
Everybody wants instant gratification. They want it today, and everybody wants to start at the top.
I agree with that.
So we talked a little bit about your backstory and your business. If you will, tell me a little bit about the products that you guys offer.
So obviously, T-shirts is the number one thing. That's why we kind of go by the name of the shirt shop, even though it is kind of titled under GMB Screen printing is something that's been our bread and butter since day one. That's what I learned from my grandfather. That's my dad. I mean, that's just something we've always done. We do focus in, like I said, probably 70% schools, of course, the rest being, family reunions, businesses, churches, things of that nature. That's definitely our main focus. In the last few years, we picked up through a partnership with another company doing embroidery and stuff, which has allowed us to venture off into the hat world and things. We've always done signs and things as well. A lot of people don't even know we do signs, but we do. We do vinyl graphics and all that. We're not one of those people that push it, because there are really good places here in this community that also do it.
Right.
It is something that we've done since day one.
Okay.
But, it's kind of more of I call it a side thing.
That's right.
It doesn't require, shirts is what requires our business.
That's right.
So that's definitely what we're mostly doing about. So.
That's cool. So what gets you out of bed in the morning?
Probably the number one thing is be them 3 little youngins I got.
That's the
number one thing. I love my job. Now, I've definitely always been the one that would stay till 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night and be there at 7:30, 7 o'clock the next morning ready to roll. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I'd love to go there and do that and be a part of that. But as my family has evolved, that's really a good drive, I would say. To support my wife and 3 kids, to get up and go to work, that's a pretty good drive. But that business is something I dearly love. I say that as I protect it, like, no matter what.
That's right.
My parents do still own the business. I do just run it. I'm sure it'll be mine one day, but I'd work for the next 40 years for them if it was mine at the end of it. That would be what I worked for.
That's
you know what I mean? So they take good care of me, but I love what I do, and I love the people I get to deal with while I do it.
Man, that's awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome. I love to hear about your drive. Like, I didn't realize that we had so much in common until we jumped on here because of starting. People ask, how long you been in the garbage business? My entire life. I was kind of born into it. Yep. They bought the company in 98. I left my 5th grade graduation because I heard my grandpa, he's got real bad diabetes, and I heard he was on a truck and his blood sugar was dropping and he was getting in and out of the truck trying to throw the trash. And I told him, I was like, hey, just get me a change of clothes and take me to work. And they were like, you're going to miss your graduation. And I was like, guys, it's 5th grade.
I don't even care.
It's 5th grade. Like that's my grandpa. Like, this is what we do. Like it's something that I feel like there's an appreciation that you have for the business from seeing it from where you are. And there's nothing in the world. Like, the 2 things that have changed me and shaped me, I think the most, has been 1, business, and 2, whenever I had my first son. Absolutely. It's like when I looked over at him and he grabbed my finger and he kind of looked up at me like that's that alien that's been talking to me the whole time. Yeah. Like, I knew that somebody was depending on me. That's right. And I had to do whatever come hell or high water.
Absolutely.
No
matter what.
To take care of them.
Yep. It's so funny. People come in all the time and they're like, how do you just, whether it be artwork or whatever the case is, how do you just do that? I'm like, look, whenever I was 4 and 5 and 6 years old, or younger, who even knows how young it was? I was at my granddad's place doing this. Yeah. I mean, I used Corel Draw 1 and 2 when I was 6. I'm on 24 right now at 37. Like, that's awesome. That's what I've always done.
You've dedicated your life to the skill.
I'd not even know it at that age.
Right.
I just was always something that I love, no doubt, at a young age, computers and things. I'm very mechanical minded. If I'm not at that shirt shop, you probably talk to my wife, she'll tell you, I'm at home outside in my shop. Automotive is my passion. Right. So I fix people's vehicles. I do tires on the side. I can't even tell you all the things that I really do, but that's just my drive is to help people, and I like to, some do pay, some are free. It just depends on the scenario, what's going on. But I definitely like to be a part of that. And it was something that they taught me so young that I didn't even know I was learning. So
that's crazy. This has been awesome. If people want to reach out to you and find out more about your business, put in an order.
Absolutely.
How do they get a hold of you?
So, we have a website that you can go on and look at. It's GMBSportswear.com. It just basically is a very informational website because there are such a broad spectrum of pricing. There's just no way to put all of that on there and be accurate. So I do ask that most people email me through my email for pricing or call.
Okay.
My email is gbsportswear@bellsouth.net.
Okay.
Old school.
Taking it way back.
Yeah, but it's hard to change a good
That's
thing.
right.
Or my phone number, of course, as well, 251-649-0703. So that's or just come by the shop. We're right there at 8741 Moffett Road. We'd love to see you. It's not a huge place to come in and hang out forever, but it gets the job done, and we like to talk to our customers too. That's always a great thing. We love the communication. I had people in there from Jackson, Alabama this week, getting some ATV ride shirts, and they don't have to drive down here to get their shirts. They drive down here every time, 4 or 5 times a year to get shirts from us, and it's just an honor to be able to do things like that for people all over.
Man, this has been awesome. This has been awesome. I've really enjoyed the podcast. Thank you so much for being on here with me today. Thank you so much for watching the podcast. If you will like, share, subscribe, and check back for more content. Thanks. That's it.
That's it.
We did it. Bro, that's one of probably my favorites so far.